Hello everybody, in previous video we render configurable product options, and in this video we will add its selected state, so we can select different options, add for this styling and keep the state in the product details hook. So let's start with our configurable option value component. And here we want to have some index or ID for value which we want to mark as selected. Let's take a look in its type, and right now we don't have anything. Let's check in our Altair plugin in documentation what we have for our values, and you see there is a value index, a unique index number assigned to configurable product option. I think this is what we actually need. Let's try. Yeah, you see it's a different value for each option values. So let's add it to our query and its type. Type number. And now we can use it here. So let's add some state. Let's name it selected index, set selected index, use state, and now let's set -1 by default. We need to import use state. Also, we need to wrap each value container with some on-press handler. Let's use touchable scale we did create earlier, and there is on-press. Let's set selected index with value index property. For scale and disable, let's add some default values. Now it's required properties, but I think we can set something for default and for disable to be false, and let's mark it as optional. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, our options now pressable. And let's add variable selected, which will be marked is current value selected. Selected index equal value index. And let's start with our color values, and for selected state I want to add view with icon checked. And let's copy icon we already used. Earlier. I think we need height here. Color will be black. Name check mark. And style. Let's name it selected color. I want to fill the object, add background color RGBA, so it will be black with 0.1 opacity. And I want to center the icon. So justify content and align items should be center. Let's take a look. Okay, looks good, but maybe let's increase the size. Yeah, much better. Let's fix with ESLint fix our code style. Now we can add selected style for text type, and for the text type I want to wrap it with view. I want to set color depending on the selected state, like this. If selected, it will be white, and if not, black. Okay, works good. And let's add selected text style, which will be kind of the same, but with background depending on selected state. So if selected, it will be black, and if not, let's make it transparent as it was before, and let's take a look. Yeah, looks nice. Okay, now we have this selected index state, but we can't really use it with our app logic. We need to move it to upper components. And what I want to do here, I want to keep this selected index state in the use product details hook. So let's create state here. Selected configurable product options. Let's add type. Should be simply object with string key and string value. And let's set default value is empty object. Add this value to the return object. And also let's add handle select configurable option. This will be a function where we can pass option code, which will be string, and value index, which will be number, and return will be void. Let's create this function here. We don't need types here since we already have this function type. And what it will be it will be simply set selected configurable product option. We'll set previous state and new value for option code. Like this. Now we need to return state and our handle function. Yes, lint fix looks good. And now we can add this to our configurable product options props. And in product details screen we need to get these values and pass it here. Let's use ESLint fix. Looks good. And now okay, we need to import these types. To be able to import, we need to set export. And now we should pass this handle function to configurable option values. So we need to pass it deeper to configurable options. And now you see this configurable option component doesn't make really sense. This is a good example where destruction to smaller components not always a good thing, because in our case we need to pass options props in this component and do it again in configurable option values. So I won't just move this code to configurable product options. Render option. Option will be options type. And here, instead of this component, we'll use render option. And now we can remove this component since it's not used anymore. Okay, it's still used because we have import. Now we can delete it. And for configurable option values, I want to add option code in props. It will be string. I want to have selected index, which is number, and I want to have our handle function. So option code will be option attribute code. Selected index will be selected options by attribute code. Okay, it should be a number instead of string. What else? And we need handle function here. Now we can remove this selected index state and import it from props. And option code as well. On press we will use handle function where we pass option code and value index. Let's take a look. And you see it works as we expected, and now this state saved in our use product details hook for each option for color and size, so we can select product for add to cart, and we can add some media for selected product as well. And that's all. We will continue in the next video.